Welcome back. It's time for another Ford SPG, and we got some idea who it's for down there. So let's have a look.
Let's have a look.
There's a Ford SPG on the bulletin board. Oh no, CEO! There's been some rather unsavory office gossip among Vern employees and associates about our returning CEO Bill Tausend. If it spreads any further and his name gets dragged through the mud, he may be pushed out yet again. Oh dear. Would you be able to look into the rumours? I can provide more details if you come by the tunnel entrance west of the artisanal district. Secretary Cohen. Let's go have a word. Let's turbo our way over there because we've already been there. Hello, mate. You Cohen, the Vern CEO's secretary. We saw your post on the bulletin board. Indeed I am. You must be the group from Thor's military academy then. And I've heard talk that you've been kicking out 4 SPGs in the Spriggan stead. Yes, assuming you have no issue with that. May we hear the details of your request? It was in regard to negative rumours going around about Mr. Tausend, as I recall. Correct. I actually think an outside party without any preconceptions will provide a more impartial perspective. See, I'm rather hesitant to divulge any details at HQ. Hence why we're having this conversation out here. Guess it'd be problematic if someone from the Vern Company overheard, huh? Yes. It's for that reason that I want to investigate as confidentiality as possible. Confidentially. Yes. Triple dot. Oh no, CEO! We accept. As it happens, we chatted briefly with Mr. Tausend earlier. Even knowing his indiscretion last year, he seemed nothing if not sincere about making up for it. If a man like that is having his reputation tarnished, we can't just leave it unaddressed. Much obliged. I'll feel more at ease with your assistance. Be kind of a letdown if the rumors turned out to be true, though. Guy's a one-man shooting range of easy targets anyway. Oh dear, Fee. Doesn't seem like that big a deal, really. What exactly is the nature of these rumors? CEO has come under 3 separate allegations from what I've heard. 2 of them are even accompanied by photographs. And those photos are being spread too. How ruthless. But by the same token, it means there's actual physical evidence fueling the gossip. Yes. If possible, I'd like if you could verify said photos for yourselves to inform your verdict. Understood. We'll be sure to look into that as well. First things first, let's try and get in touch with those who've heard the rumors. Yeah, I'd like to hear people's takes on them. Not to mention what it is they're actually saying. If it's public perception we're looking for, then the wider the net we cast, the better. We should try asking a receptionist, in that case. They'd come into contact with a good variety of personnel and information. It'd also be a good idea to find someone from a Vern subsidiary, too, or a divisional employee with corporate and departmental connections. Thank you again for going to all this effort. Do get in touch if you learn anything. Right. Can't say for sure how much help it'll be, but we'll see how far our outside perspective can take us to start.
Let's 4SPG it up.
4SPG it up. Oh dear. What have we got going on with each other? Oh, all right.
We earned it.
Well, you didn't specifically, but you know.
See, we're using some
A group effort earned it. Oh, we need to go up there. Well, let's not go get this red event there straight away. Can we get round this way? We can. Meow. Let's get everywhere else on the way that we can. This way.
Protect us.
Times are changing at a dizzying pace, which is all the more reason for me to pray that peace be with those I know. Professor Hamilton is one such person, as is a young pupil, Catra. I can only hope he isn't getting up to any hairy hijinks over in Edith. Hey, he's alright. He's got good people around him. You'd like to learn more about outer space, you say? Yes, enough so that I can teach the children at least. Well, I can hardly say no to that. Let's discuss the matter in between our duties. I expect there will be much overlap between what you and the children wish to know. Phew, thank heavens Father Blickdom's well versed in the sciences. That said, something about him has been feeling just the slightest bit off lately. Oh? He often seems so lost in thoughts. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Oh?
Any day now.
Any day now. Sister Paula is aware of her knowledge is wanting. A commendable attitude in and of itself. As one adequately versed in the subject, I will impart what I can unto her. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Right, let's go up here first to you. There's no shortage of talented engineers and technicians in the aerospace forces ranks. There we go. By the looks of it. Suppose it's natural they'd have more than just through and through military sorts. I only hope it leads to all this technology being put to more peaceful purposes. Depends what happens, doesn't it? You know. Hey boss, about that extra order earlier. It was for moving assault frame parts, right? Yep, they wanted some spares stockpiled in case of repairs, apparently. Can I help make them? Please. And there it is, right on cue. You ought to know better than to think I'd let a feather brain like you within arm's length of this. And hey, if your nuts and bolts came out serviceable, I'm willing to put them to use. Ah, heck to the yes! Finally my handiwork's gonna be in the latest gear. Now to kick it up Turbo City style. Oh, for the love of... Maybe start on that mode from the get-go next time? Yeah, perhaps. Every tool's got its place, or however the saying goes. Boy's finally starting to look like a real artisan. An apprentice artisan, mind. He's still got plenty of ground to cover. I made a ton of bolts and now it's back to going nuts, making nuts. Tonight's goal, a nice round 2,000. Let's do this! We don't need that many, you dunderhead. This is no walk in the park, so focus up. So I'm just gonna make bolts. Lots of bolts. More bolts, more bolts, more bolts. Let's get that. What we got over there, anyway? Oh, there's a pleasant surprise. Who knew Tian would get along so well with kids outside of Langport? I'll say, her trip just went from good to great now that she's made new friends to spend it with. But on a separate note, life's been too hectic for us to talk much lately, huh? How are things going? Good, thankfully. Business is booming even more these days. What about you, Youngfu? Your goldfish took second place at an exhibition, right? That's incredible. Congratulations. Personally, I'd say you're the incredible one, being a Teiji Chushi level super chef at your age. Still, it feels good to have my slow and steady passion project finally bear some fruit. Store's been doing better than ever as a result, but rather than rest on those laurels, I want to set my sights even higher. But I'm cheering you on. Granted, goldfish and cooking don't have much overlap, if any. But the pride of one success after another, the drive they instill to raise the bar, those are the feelings I can empathize with. Thanks. Therein lies another surprise, though. You and I might actually be two of a kind. When it comes to our passions, we tackle them with a one-track mind. Guess that's what they call having an artisan spirit. Huh. Now that you say so. It does add up. Oh my. I've been doing some personal research into selective breeding for my goldfish shop over in Langport's second ward. Seeing all that effort actually bear fruit, well, really gets me choked up inside. I'm sure Meishin feels the same about her cooking. Young Fu and I are childhood friends. Our houses are close, so we spent a fair amount of time together over the years. Our parents shared a neighborly relationship too, often having each other's backs in times of need. So it really is some coincidence that we wound up taking the same trip. The world works in mysterious ways. It does, doesn't it? Like it's fate. The choice of Steins Gate. I brought the children along to tour the workshops, and thankfully they quite enjoyed it. Experiences like these in the early years will undoubtedly broaden their future horizons. It's the name of the game, after all. Even an old biddy such as myself found it stirring. They call this sort of technology cutting edge, yes? For it to be so ubiquitous, there we go, is simply astonishing. Oh my. So it does my heart well to see the little ones get along so famously with that girl from Longport. Jed can be a bit of a fuss budget. Yet even he opened up to her without much fuss. Hopefully making a new friend will help him grow out of his cynical phase. That was kind of interesting, actually. You can't find crazy machines like those just anywhere. Threw me off that these workshops even use them, with how ancient this place is. Yeah, it was super cool. That's basically in a nutshell. Old school charm with new school style. Really makes you realize how totally different its history is from Mistledom's. I was surprised too. So many things can change from city to city. Mistledom though. That's where you're all from, huh? Yeah, and you live in Longport, right? Always wanted to visit there sometime. Oh, maybe you can tell us what it's like later. If that's okay, I mean. Sure I can. As long as you tell me about Mistledom back. Yay, group story time! Oh, it's not the dumbest idea ever. Sheesh, if Jed's happy, he should just show it. Anyway, Tian-Tian's a lot of fun. You can tell she really looks up to her sister. I think we're going to get along great. From what we see, yeah. It's like there really is a whole world out there that I know jack about. Never got to leave Mesterdom, living with my old man, so this stuff's never even crossed my mind. Jed sure got wrapped up in what the artisans were doing. Made me happy to see. And so did making friends with Tian-Tian. He's gonna tell us all about Longport later. This is really showing me how totally different cities can be from one another, even when they're all in the same country. We're all gonna share stories about where we live once we're back at the inn. I can't wait. Right. Yeah, we just got that building over there, and the Ford SPG takes us here. Barnaby! I was doing a day drinking vent session with these old artisans when, before I knew it, they'd hooked me up with some referrals. Apparently, there are workshops whose space program commissions are starting to wind down. I always viewed work through the lens of stats and figures, and now here I am, getting saved by simple human kindness. The least I can do is pay them back on the job. That's what product procurement is all about. Rumors about Tausend.
Yo, got a sec?
Yeah, I've heard the rumors. They've been circulating around the workshops and companies in our supplier network. Something about him having seedy underworld connections or whatnot. We're referring to the same Bill Tausend, right? He doesn't really seem the type somehow. Last I remember, he was so clueless about Almata that he missed them scudding around right under his nose. Don't suppose there's any proof. Well, there's this quote-unquote photographic evidence going around. See for yourself. What we got? What we got? My God, he's speaking to someone with sunglasses. Feels a little less underworldly and more underwhelming. The man in the sunglasses certainly meets the stereotypes of a criminal sort. Apart from him, though, it doesn't seem more that condemning. Not to mention, they're meeting in broad daylight. Yeah, I can't say what exactly, but there could easily be an innocent explanation behind this. Yeah, it could just be a normal guy wearing sunglasses because it's daylight and the sun was in his eyes. Maybe, but you've still got people buying into it, including some of the artisans we work with. Personally, I reserve the right to stay silent. I have to wonder where the story even came from, though. That's a good point. Knowing the source could change the content entirely. Setting that aside, who could have possibly taken this photograph? Provided this meeting was private, there are only so many who could have been present. True enough, I thought it was like a cafe or something, you know, which would mean someone involved snapped the picture with an ulterior motive. Though of course, they didn't meet in secret. We can't be sure it wasn't a coincidental shot from an unrelated passerby. Yeah, there we go. Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, it was at a cafe outside somewhere. Like, maybe they're not even at the same table. It's just another guy at a different table, and the perspective makes it look like they're talking to one another. That's possible. Either way, it feels malicious. Sure does. Someone went real out of their way to create this evidence. Yeah, that much is true. Gotta keep it in mind while we think this through. I was doing a day drinking vent session with these old artisans when before I knew it they hooked me up with some referrals. Apparently their workshops, space program missions are starting to wind down. Alright, that's the same as last time. Alright. So, where do we want to go? Newtown?
Let's vamoose.
Vamoose? Don't know if we should vamoose. Alright, Vern HQ first.
Shard searching.
Making sure there's no grimoire tokens around. Oh, I forgot about the drone. Torture exercises were completed without incident. Well done, everybody. We had all that, haven't we? While I remember the drone, though. Can't do the drone? Is it because I'm inside? Why do I just not have the drone over here? It's probably the case. Right, anyway, back we go. Topic is what I want.
Yo, got a sec?
Yes, I did hear there were allegations against Mr. Tausend. Few employees genuinely believe them, of course, but it's still led to a loss of trust on some level. They're semi-convinced, in other words. If you don't mind me asking, you yourself told any of these rumors directly? Yes, a colleague passed along this photo. I can't say where it originated from. Oh. Damn, old man's got game when he puts his mind to it. Is that your only takeaway? Just like his face then, just like, what have I said? This picture appears to show the CEO enjoying a night out with a young woman, leading some staff to believe he's been caught in a honey trap and is leaking company secrets. Like, how close would you have to be to take that picture, though? Naturally, I put no stock in this, but I am curious about the actual scene being depicted. There's definitely a sort of cheerfulness to it that comes off as a little surprising. And so, they're only conversing. I have to question whether any conclusions can be drawn from that. You're right. Normally, it'd take a lot more than this to stir these sorts of rumors. Get the sense that whoever's spreading them has a personal bone to pick with Mr. Tausend. One way or another, it's too little to make a judgment call on. We can't say there's absolutely zero chance this thing is legit. Still, a photo this innocuous shouldn't be spreading rumors like wildfire. Yeah, it comes off a little forced to me. I want to consider the possibility that someone's fanning the flames on purpose. Well, clearly at this point. Alright, let's keep that in mind while mulling the other rumors over. Thank you for your time. We know you must be busy right now. Oh, not at all. Any disparagement against our CEO is just as much a concern of mine. I'm happy to have been of service. So we got you over there.
Got a second?
Or more. Oh yeah. Word is that the rumor mill is going wild over at Vern HQ. Ones going around that subsidiary I work at are based on some audio of the CEO's remarks. Not that anyone knows when or where it was actually recorded. Is that right? Would you be okay sharing it with us? Sure, have a listen. This company belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are disposable. Nice body on you. And there you have it. This recording's been a 3-for-1 fountain of gossip. Stuff like him misappropriating the company, or belittling his subsidiaries, or committing sexual harassment behind closed doors. I see. There's a lot of noise in it though, to the point where it's sort of tough to make out what he's saying. And even aside from that, something about it just felt off somehow. The audio was choppy at points in addition to the noise. It's been spliced together. There's a possibility it was edited to sound like this. Now that you mention it, the way the words flowed felt unnatural too. That said, it does... I was like, what have I just pressed? Like, okay. That said, it does sound like Mr. Tausend. Gets me curious about how the recording was made. You know, I've not looked at the timely terms in ages. Like, oh no, it's just... I just not looked at it at all. Completely forgot it was there. Anyway, going by the tone of his voice, it doesn't sound like it's from a public meeting or anything. Odds are they found someone who was there. The odds are that someone who was there recorded him maliciously. But whom? File that next to the question of our mystery photographer. Thanks for your input. I think we have a better grasp on the situation now. No worries. I'm glad I could help. Okay, that about covers all 3 allegations against Mr. Tausend. Yeah, except all the evidence was either half-arsed or inconclusive. Which makes it all the stranger that the rumours have spread this quickly. And even with only the flimsiest of proof, some people are still believing it. And by how the photos look though, I think we can assume they weren't faked or taken accidentally. The recordings though, did sound unnatural, but even then, it was still his actual voice. Honestly speaking, if you consider everything we've learned as a whole... How to put this... Feels like Mr. Tausend is being framed here. Thinking about it from that angle explains a lot. Not hard to imagine. We were just talking about how much of a walking kick-me sign he is. Alright, Crow. Well, not to be a bummer, but it's still just one theory out of who knows how many. Indeed, what we need is some corroboration. Okay, in that case, we should get some from the CEO himself. Staring us right into the eye of the storm, eh? There's no better place to verify the truth of all this. Even if the rumors are legitimate, we'll probably need to sound out his situation anyhow. Good point. I'll give him a call so he knows we're coming. Okay, he said he can spare some time, so we're welcome to stop by. We can find him over at the Institute of Science. Off we go then. Oh, off we go then. I've not been there yet with this group, so let's go again.
Let's make our way over.
Yes, the observatory. So, this is the Basel Institute of Science. The Republic's premier bastion of education and research, responsible for driving its technological growth. It's pretty different from the Ruhr Institute of Technology, right? Even if on first impressions they seem about the same. They're both scientific institutes, so they do both cover the sciences, physics, biology, chemistry, and information. No, unlike Ruhr, they focus on research as opposed to manufacturing. Say that the Institute of Science has long cooperated with Basel's Artisans Guild. They actually established the Verne Company together. That's why the factories and local companies often test their prototypes. I see. So it's their history that makes cooperation between industry and university possible. Things that set it apart from Ruhr would also be due to that history, right? Looks like they just finished a test. Guess wherever you go, students make the same faces when they finished an exam. Reminds me of the kids at Thor's Branch campus. I'm feeling a little nostalgic myself. I bet. Come on. The test's done. We should be able to go in now. That's where we're headed, right? Whoop. Yep, the continent's largest state-of-the-art observatory. My grandpa visited it a long time ago. Sorry again for making you all come out here with me. No, this is very, very important. Don't have to apologize. I'm actually looking forward to it. Though it may be a little too early to be stargazing. And why don't we take a little tour of this fancy institution? Good point. Some of the people who were at the event earlier are here, as well as some folk from Vern. Maybe we should plan to say hello to them too. But of course. Well, shall we begin our tour of the school then? No, we've got other things to do first. Oh, seems I can't do other things first. Wait, why were we here? I thought we had to come to here. I don't see anybody who's got an orange bit.
Let's make our way over.
I'm confused now. I'm expecting a topic. Because we were here. It's the fact there's no orange. It's like, wait a minute.
Let's vamoose.
Oh, that Institute of Science. Oh, I thought it was referring to like the entrance bit. No. So I'm assuming it is in there somewhere then.
Let's head off.
For the forest, PG. Speak to you first then. Oh right, I heard that researcher Athena was promoted to associate professor. She helped with our company's research last year, so I should get her a congratulatory gift and swing by. But she'd be quite shy. If I show up out of nowhere, will she even meet with me?
Care to stop by for a breather?
Willie! Looks like the exams are over, so I figured I'd show my appreciation for the students and all their hard work. Mesa really does have beautiful sunsets. I love the view from here. A lot of people have been real busy these days, but I'd love for them to stop and take a break.
What can I get for you?
Macchiato? A smoothie? Oh. Steel tumbler. For teas. It's got the aroma of teas in
your
it.
satisfaction.
Lovely, lovely. I have to be careful what I'm buying there, you know. Items, we should see about some of this stuff. Got quite a few panaceas at this point, haven't we?
Whew. Thanks for the meal.
We don't need to use that.
Whew. Thanks for the meal.
Have we used one of them? Or no? We need to use
Thanks for
one
the
at
meal.
least, don't we? HP up.
Whew. Thanks for the meal.
Okay. I also need to see about cooking. Not had one of them yet.
Me?
You?
If you're sure.
I am.
I learned this from Gran.
Just going down the list now to see if we've cooked it. Need some white fish. Ooh, I fancy some white fish now. I do. I do. We're in the basil one, so nothing there. Okay. And oh, I want that with the cooking.
Whew. Thanks for the meal.
Right. Ooh, there's a shop over there. We'll check that first. That's just the vending machine. It is. Banana flavored drink.
Well done.
Well done, everyone. Good show, good show. Not that one. Right. Onwards and upwards. The stairs, that is. Hello, Kincaid. We have obtained the necessary data collect. Indeed. And based on that, I shall be making further adjustments to the airframe and external units. Which means I'll need to return to Zeku's space base, as planned. Understood. Safe travels, then. Oh, it's you. Well done joining today's exercise. We've managed to obtain some excellent data. I think we saw each other at the get-together briefly. If I could, I'd like to take this chance to say hello properly, Professor Cronkite. I got your name right. And thank you for your part in the exercise. I hear our mint might have been a little pest during the event. It's nothing to concern yourselves with. We both did what we had to increase the probability of success. Success? I couldn't help but overhear, Professor. You're heading back to Zeku Space Base? Yes, I intend to travel with Major Amelia and the others by airship. I won't be able to enjoy this town's party for a while, but we all must make sacrifices. We must. There is still so much that needs to be done. Adjustments to the machine, analysis of the satellite data. I'd heard he was taking on the majority of the technological and operational aspects of Project Startaker. It's no surprise it's keeping him busy. And he doesn't seem the least bit fatigued. He really is a genius. We won't take any more of your time. We just wanted to say thank you. What about you, heading back to the base with the professor? No, I intend to stay in Basel for a while. Everything at the space base is on track. They don't need me at the moment. But there are some things here in Basel that require my attention. Something that requires his attention here. Now. I see, sounds like you're busy too. Then we should probably leave you to it then. Shouldn't we? Thank you for your understanding. The fewer distractions, the better. Just can't help the snide remarks, can you? It won't be long until you're used to it. Now, I've already told you what I'm doing. If there's nothing else, then I suggest making the most of your time and touring the campus. That's just what we were planning. Thanks for your consideration. And take care as well, Professor. Of course, I had no intention of doing otherwise, but I'll accept your well wishes. Ooh, still no... orange one. I'm assuming it's over there we want to go. We'll go over there now, actually.
The Basel Institute of Science. I feel like there's a lot I can learn here.
Yeah, there's no question this is the finest academy Calvert has to offer.
Be
Can't
sure
help
to
but
eat a
imagine what
balanced
campus
diet,
life
you
would have
hear?
been like here.
Then shall we look around? We can wait to go see the stars until after it gets dark. All right.
Alright. There we are. Oh, hello. My goodness, I had my own reservations about Mr. Tausend's reinstatement. As I understand it, everything seems to be going smoothly. You have my support. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm ashamed to have caused you trouble last year, Your Highness. I will never make the same mistake again. I will dedicate myself to this company. Well, he did do a lot of dubious things last year. But there's no denying your skill in bringing together various industries over the years. With courage, you're sure to lead Vern in the right direction. Indeed, I'll be counting on you now, Tausend. There's more to discuss, but it appears we have some guests. Hi. Ah, it's all of you. Sorry, it looks like you're in the middle of something. We didn't mean to interrupt. It's no problem at all. We've already finished the complicated business. If you'd like, why don't you join us? Apparently we did. I see. Sounds like there's a lot of strong opinions about Tausend's return as CEO back in Alsame. It can't be helped. They've invested quite a lot after all. That said, it feels like more and more people are willing to give me a second chance. Considering your achievements and the sincerity you've displayed since your return, it's not hard to see why. I had a talk with him myself. It's convinced me that he is the right man for the job. I'm sure of it. And I intend to encourage my father to give his support as well. That's a lot more generous than I'd expect. Well, Professor Hamilton made the requested, you know. Seeing how much she's done for our nation, we can't just ignore what she says. Even the professor supported my return? But I'll never be able to return the favor. Not that she'd ever abandon you, given her humanity and moral obligations. It sounds like everyone really loves and trusts the professor. Yes, doesn't it just? She definitely has a different style from the Professor Schmidt and the others, obvious as it is. I don't know about that. I don't know after what we know. She is certainly special among Epstein's disciples. She has a philosophy of getting close to people and supporting them all equally. That's the cornerstone of all her research. And no matter how much times change, a self-sacrificing nature never does. It isn't just whole countries indebted to her, but entire generations. I was lucky enough to work with her long ago on a variety of her projects. And each time I've seen the problems of the people, I've recognized that she was truly saving them. While I haven't gotten to join her on the eastern part of the continent, I'm sure they're even more grateful to her. Even in Alsaim, our appreciation for her is deep in our roots. For years, the Professor has been the intermediary between the Alsaim and the Republic when it comes to sharing technological advancements. Sure, we owe a lot of our mineral resources, but the development of our nation can be traced back to her influence. I think it's easier for us to feel close to her since she's half Central Eastern. I worked with the Professor on behalf of the ICO, and it seems she's loved throughout the Central East, and not just in Alsaim. Don't forget her undiscriminating love for all. People everywhere feel a strong bond with the Professor. Even at the Foundation, everyone talks about her character and achievements. She's really so much more than I'd been led to believe back in the Empire. You know, all of the big mistakes I made while she was away really has a huge help. She really was a huge help as a consultant to the Verne Company. But I can't lean on her any longer. I have to guide the Verne Company forward with my own two hands. Hearing all of this, it's just another reminder of the Professor's character. Yeah, I wish I could have talked with her more. You're staying in the Republic. You may get another chance. For now, would you like to take a look inside the Institute? Yes, we would. We should still be open for a while yet, so feel free to take a look around. If you run into any problems, just let me know. We've run into a few problems. Regarding you, mate. Thank you again for your help. Sorry we interrupted. I'll make sure to enjoy a tour of the campus. Yeah. Right, Tausend. Rumors, you say? I understand you're something new to discuss, members of Thor's military academy. Yes, thank you for your time. You see, we were hoping to get your assistance with a request we've undertaken. Is that right? I'll help to whatever extent I can, then. What is it you wish to ask? Well, our client wants to investigate some wild rumors going around. Hear anything about a scandal rocking the Verne Company right now, by chance? You mean to say there is one? If so, I'll have to deal with it post-haste. This is the first he's heard of it, evidently. Doesn't seem like he thinks it could apply to him in any way, either. Wow, he really has no idea, does he? Better get down to brass tacks, then. I'll be blunt, Mr. Tausend. The rumors we're looking into are regarding you. They include some audio and photographic evidence that we'd like you to fact-check, if that's alright. About me? Ugh, I don't believe I've done anything wrong, though. Please tell me more. I'll try with all sincerity to explain myself wherever I am able. First, there's this picture of you speaking with a young woman. I believe she was a job hunting student that I interviewed recently. A job hunting student? Yeah, she came a long way from the countryside for our appointment, after which she did some sightseeing in town. This photo must be when I chanced upon her in town. She said hello and I offered her some encouragement. Who in the world would take a photo of that, and why and how? Like that close, you know. That's not as juicy as I was getting up for. Feels way more on brand though. Sky and Ladykiller don't exactly go hand in hand. You guys! And what about this photo? Seems to be giving some impression that you have connections to the underworld. Ah, this person is the executive director of a trading company. We've known each other for a long time now. His eyes are rather sensitive, so he often wears sunglasses on days the sun is particularly bright. It's from the Mirror Universe? As it happens, everyone in the sales department at our headquarters knows him. So you're welcome to speak with them if you have any doubts. I see, then what about this recording? This one's gonna be like, what? This company belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are disposable. Nice body on you. Watch this, it certainly sounds like me, but I don't recall saying anything of the sort. There are indeed indications that the audio was deliberately spliced. Do you recall any remarks you've made that could have been edited together in that way? This company belongs to me. A bit does bring something to mind. It was during a private conversation between Cohen and myself not too long ago. If memory serves, I said something along the lines of, this company is my life, so to speak. All responsibility for it belongs to me. Our subsidiaries are to be handled with careful consideration. We must first dispose of their concerns in an orderly and dependable manner. Nice work, but you mustn't overstrain yourself. It'll all be for nothing if your body gives out on you. Assuming you recall correctly, then it's definitely plausible that these soundbites were clipped from that conversation. And if you two were talking one-on-one when it was recorded, it's all coming together. Should have figured as much. Yeah, this seems like a setup from the start to finish. What do you want to do now, Reen? Well, we've come this far. I think it only makes sense to lay it all bare to the man himself and get his corporation. This won't be easy to discuss, but from what the circumstances suggest, are we gonna have to choose, or? So, you're investigating at Cohen's request then? At the risk of echoing him, I'm inclined to ask that you get to the bottom of these baseless hoaxes myself. Yes, of course. It may just be Spriggans by proxy, but we'll give it our all. Not that we don't already have a grasp of what's going on here. Key now is pinpointing who's behind it all. Cohen is my number one suspect right now. The perpetrator had to be capable of procuring those photos and that recording, as well as propagating word on them within the company. What's more, potentially stand to gain from framing Mr. Tausend. Alright, narrow down the suspects, and the one who spread this disinformation can only be... Is Cohen actually an option? None other than Cohen, your secretary and our client. Yeah, he wanted to do us to investigate, so we could be like, ah ha ha! It all points to these horrible things he did. It's not working his way, though, is it? He was in a position to prepare the photos and audio by himself. No, how can that possibly be? It's true he was present at every occasion, but... It's only conjecture based on circumstantial evidence, of course, but the likelihood is high. Didn't he himself hire you to investigate these false accusations, though? Actually, that's what stuck out for me from the get-go. He asked us to investigate the rumors themselves, but not their source. And he didn't say a word about putting a stop to them either. If anything, it sounded as if what he sought from us was verification. Following that train of thought, maybe his aim was to have us confirm the rumors as unbiased outsiders. That way, we'd help to solidify and spread them even further. Roundabout doesn't even begin to describe that. But had we taken the bait, it could have been the final nail in the coffin. Cohen was appointed by Director Durak, a member of our board who took over as CEO during my dismissal. Ah, there we go. He's proven highly capable, but we haven't been acquainted for very long, so there's much I don't know on a personal level. Would you object to me calling for him right now? I must learn whether he is truly the culprit, and if so, what his motivations are. And those are things I ought to hear from the man's own mouth. Mr. Tausend? I understand. Go ahead and call Cohen over. We have to relay the results of our investigation to him anyway. Yes. mean, it didn't seem to point to anyone else, so... You ready to report on the request? Didn't realize the CEO himself would be present for it. Let me begin with a rundown on what we uncovered during the course of our investigation. Reading the group informed Cohen in detail about the photos and the recordings that sparked the rumors, making sure to express that they had clearly been disseminated with malicious intent. In short, you've concluded that Mr. Tausend is free from fault. Very well then, I'll continue digging into the rumors myself and see if I can't determine their origin. That's quite enough, Cohen! All I want to know is, was this your doing? Triple Dot. So that's it. You managed to figure me out. Oh, you just come out. Oh, I thought you were going to be like, no? What? I would never, blah, 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 blah. But nope, just straight out be like, oh, fine, you figured it out. I expected a third party would be quickly deceived, but evidently that wasn't the case. Now that I'm caught, there's nothing to be done. I resign myself to whatever punishment you deem sufficient. This is too quick. Just as we thought. Finding us really was a ploy to push your smear campaign. But why? What could drive an outstanding secretary like you to do such a thing? We're well past the point of words by now. But I'll tell you this much. I only acted with the good of the company in mind. The good of the company? That is the most I can say. Is that because you're trying to protect someone else who's also part of this? Come to think of it, he was appointed by the previous CEO, right? If you put two and two together, again, he's too quick to be like, oh, it was me! Bullseye. Be straight with us here. Was he the guy who put you up to this? As I already stated, I acted with the good of the company in mind. Full stop. He didn't outright deny it, which is a near surefire sign Durak is involved. Just couldn't accept the idea of entrusting the Verne Company to you again, Tausend. In focusing solely on profits and gains, you failed to prevent what happened to Professor Callahan, or manage the litigations between our affiliates. Your reinstatement as CEO not only defies all sense, robs the company of opportunities to change. Mr. Jurek should be the one in your place instead, steering us toward reform. Ugh. I acknowledge that I have yet to fully earn your trust, just as I acknowledge my past transgressions. However, that's all the more reason why I must make amends with my own two hands. It's toward that aim that I reassumed my position. I'm well aware of Durek's capabilities as well as the reliance so many employees place in him. But even still, I refuse to capitulate. Not to a man who stooped to reclaim power through vile mudslinging. Mr. Tausend? And just how genuine is that determination? I pledge to not only rise up on the backs of my past failings, but achieve results that more than outweigh them. In this way, will I strive to become a man worthy of confidence, yours and Durek's both. So you needn't place your faith in me on the spot. All I ask is you, for now, is that you give me the chance. At least until such time that I can repay this company in what way I am able. Mr. Tausend, you really have changed. Compared to you, Director Durek and I. Go and wait in the other room for now. I will inform you when the consequences of your actions are decided. You're fired. Get out of here. Good day, sir. Allow me to express my gratitude once again. It's because of you that these malicious rumors have been stemmed. That being said, I'll have to fix whatever foibles of mine allowed this to occur without me noticing. What about the turncoat? Gonna give him the boot at the very least? That wouldn't be the end of it, though. It turns out the previous CEO really is involved to any extent. Quite so. If you don't mind, may I ask your suggestions on how to approach this, just for my consideration? I'd appreciate your objectivity as a third party, not to mention the ones who actually solve this problem. Arkwright Solutions often provides consultations on this nature after completing their jobs, as I understand it. You want our advice? Not. Haha. Well, alright. It's not my area of expertise, but I'll try to come up with something. What kind of middle ground would Arkwright propose in this situation? What would we recommend? Take the secretary and take them to court? No. I think the board meeting one, probably. Out of those, this should be just about good enough, I think. The proper course is to take the issue to court, but that would also mean exposing the company's weakness to the world at large. Happy medium could be to put it on the agenda at a board meeting and sort it out privately instead. That may be as far as saving face is concerned. However, doing so would sow discord within the board of directors itself. And I still have our operational stability to consider, factional tensions to keep in check. But on the other hand, this could be your big break. Play the meeting right, and you can gain some solid ground out of this ordeal. Even if the board ultimately decides to punish those wrongdoings publicly. If all goes well, you may be able to reassert your place at the helm of the company. When you put it that way, I can certainly see how it might lead to more corporate unity. But is that truly within my capabilities? No. Hesitating at this juncture would strip my reinstatement of all meaning. Very well. For the sake of pulling this company back together, I'll have this matter addressed internally. Alright, seems like that came out alright. Idios above. I think they'd resort to character assassination to try and force my resignation. If it weren't for all of you, I might not have even noticed. My deepest thanks for that. Think nothing of it. We're just carrying out our proxy work as best we could. I'm sure Arkwright and his team would have found a better way to resolve this. No need to be modest. You presented a satisfactory compromise, of which I have no complaint. As for your payment, expect a transfer from my end. Thanks, but if you only want to do us a favor, try being less of a sitting duck from now on. Yeah, maybe cover up a few of those easy targets painted all over you. It's like, guys, shush. Honest to a fault as ever. That's quite alright. It's a fact that my vulnerabilities invite exploitation, as evidenced by today. As such, I intend to consider this a lesson learned. Call for me to shape up and run this company with grit and resolve. Perhaps this debacle was simply a trial of sorts. Chance for me to make a fresh start. Well, it's been a privilege helping you weather it. I don't mean to sound too forward, but know that you have our support, Mr. Tausend. And you mine, members of Thor's Military Academy, in all of your future endeavors. Thus did Tausend turn an unforeseen setback into an opportunity to recommit to his chosen course. He then returned to his work with a sense of pride and purpose both.
A job well done, everyone.
Oh no, CEO!
Our reward's been deposited.
It has. Ew, bit of chaos. Graze up! Mayor Grey, okay, cool. Right, so I think we'll use that as a place for us to end this part then. In the next part we shall do...
We earned it. Well done.
Well done. Is we'll continue everything going on in the artisanal district before we head off back to the Basel Institute of Science. Indeed. So we'll see you in the next part. Ta-da for now.